Welcome to Dream Tale Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is Mochi the Sleepy Cat. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. Mochi the Sleepy Cat begins now, and when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. Mochi the Sleepy Cat. Mochi was a white cat who lived in a small town. She had soft white fur and big green eyes. But Mochi had one special thing about her. She loved to sleep more than anything else in the world. Every morning, Mochi woke up at 7 o'clock. She opened her green eyes slowly and looked around. The sun was shining through the window. Birds were singing in the trees outside. It was a beautiful morning. Mochi lived with an old lady named Mrs. Tanaka. Mrs. Tanaka was very kind. She gave Mochi fresh fish every day. She also gave Mochi a warm blanket to sleep on. "Good morning, Mochi," Mrs. Tanaka said with a smile. "Did you sleep well?" Mochi meowed softly. She was still very sleepy. She wanted to go back to sleep, but she was also hungry. Mrs. Tanaka put some fish in Mochi's bowl. Mochi ate the fish slowly. It was delicious. After eating, Mochi felt even more sleepy. "I think I will take a little nap," Mochi thought to herself. Mochi walked to her favorite spot by the window. The sun was warm there. She lay down on her blanket and closed her eyes. Soon, she was sleeping peacefully. While Mochi slept, she had wonderful dreams. In her dreams, she was not just a sleepy cat. She was a brave adventurer who traveled to magical places. In today's dream, Mochi was flying through the sky. She had beautiful white wings like a bird. The clouds were soft and fluffy. She touched them with her paws. They felt like cotton candy. "This is amazing," Dream Mochi said happily. She flew over mountains and rivers. She flew over forests and cities. Everything looked so small from up in the sky. She felt free and happy. Then Dream Mochi saw a rainbow in the distance. It was the most beautiful rainbow she had ever seen. It had 7 bright colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. "I want to touch that rainbow," Dream Mochi said. She flew faster and faster. The wind blew through her white fur. She was getting closer to the rainbow. Finally, she reached it. The rainbow was made of light. It was warm and gentle. Dream Mochi landed on the rainbow and walked along it. Each color felt different under her paws. At the end of the rainbow, Dream Mochi found a beautiful garden. There were flowers everywhere: roses, tulips, sunflowers, and many others. Butterflies danced among the flowers. "Welcome, Mochi," said a soft voice. Dream Mochi looked around. She saw a small fairy sitting on a rose. The fairy had silver wings and long golden hair. She was wearing a dress made of flower petals. "Who are you?" Dream Mochi asked. "I am Luna, the dream fairy," the fairy said. "I protect all the dreams in the world. Thank you for visiting my garden." "Your garden is very beautiful," Dream Mochi said. Luna smiled. "Would you like some dream tea?" she asked. "Yes, please," Dream Mochi replied. Luna poured tea into 2 tiny cups. The tea was purple and smelled like lavender. Dream Mochi drank the tea. It tasted sweet and magical. "I never want this dream to end," Dream Yuki said. "Me neither," Dream Mochi agreed. But eventually, they heard Mrs. Tanaka's voice calling them. "Yuki, Mochi, time to wake up. Dinner is ready." Dream Mochi and Dream Yuki held hands, or paw and hand. "I'm so happy we could dream together," Dream Yuki said. "Me too," Dream Mochi replied. "Let's dream together again sometime. Promise?" Yuki asked. "Promise," Mochi answered. They both opened their eyes at the same time. They were back in the living room. The sun was setting outside. Yuki looked at Mochi with wide eyes. "Mochi, I just had the most amazing dream. We were together in a magical garden." Mochi meowed excitedly. Yuki had really shared her dream. "Did you have the same dream?" Yuki asked. Mochi meowed again and rubbed her head against Yuki's hand. "I knew it," Yuki said happily. "I knew we could share dreams." Mrs. Tanaka came into the room. "What are you two so excited about?" "Grandma, Mochi and I just had the same dream," Yuki explained. "We were in a magical garden together." Mrs. Tanaka smiled. "That's wonderful, dear. Mochi must really care about you." That evening, Yuki had dinner with Mrs. Tanaka and Mochi. They ate rice, vegetables, and grilled fish. Yuki shared some of her fish with Mochi. After dinner, Yuki's mother came to pick her up. Yuki hugged Mrs. Tanaka goodbye. Then she bent down and hugged Mochi. "Goodbye, Mochi," Yuki said. "Thank you for sharing your dream with me. I'll come visit you again soon." Mochi purred and rubbed against Yuki's leg. After Yuki left, the house felt quiet. Mrs. Tanaka and Mochi were alone again. But they were happy. It had been a wonderful day. That night, Mochi slept very peacefully. She dreamed about all her friends from the dream world. Luna the fairy, Taro the turtle, Mimi the rabbit, Zuki from planet Amethyst, and now Yuki too. In her dream, they were all together in a beautiful place. They were having a big party to celebrate friendship and dreams. "Mochi, you have brought us all together," Luna said. "We are all connected through your dreams," Taro added. "Thank you for being our friend," Mimi said. "You show us that dreams can bring people together," Zuki said. "I love you, Mochi. Yuki said with a big smile. Dream Mochi felt tears of happiness in her eyes. She was surrounded by friends who loved her. Even though she was just a sleepy cat, she had brought so much joy to others through her dreams. I love you all too, Dream Mochi said. Thank you for making my dreams so wonderful. The next morning, Mochi woke up feeling different. She realized something important. She was not just a cat who slept all the time. She was a bridge between the waking world and the dream world. She brought happiness to people in both worlds. In the waking world, she was a friendly companion who made people smile. Children like Yuki loved to pet her. Adults like Mrs. Tanaka, Mr. Yamada, and Mr. Yama. Sato enjoyed seeing her every day. She brought peace and comfort to everyone she met. In the dream world, she had adventures and made friends. She learned important lessons about life, love, and happiness. And now she could even share her dreams with special people like Yuki. I am lucky, Mochi thought to herself. I have two wonderful worlds to live in. From that day on, Mochi continued to sleep a lot. She continued to have wonderful dreams. But now she understood that her sleeping was not just about being lazy. It was about exploring, learning, and connecting with others. People in the town still called her the sleepiest cat in town. But now some people, especially children like Yuki, knew her secret. Mochi was not just sleeping, she was dreaming. And her dreams made the world a more magical place. Every day, Mochi would visit different places in town with Mrs. Tanaka. She would sleep in sunny spots and have new adventures in her dreams. And sometimes, when special people like Yuki held her while she slept, they could enter her dreams too. The town became known for having a special white cat named Mochi. Visitors would come to see her. Children would draw pictures of her. People would tell stories about her peaceful presence and her magical dreams. But Mochi remained humble and simple. She was still the same cat who loved fish, warm blankets, and sleeping in sunny spots. She was still the gentle cat who purred when people petted her. She was still the loyal cat who loved Mrs. Tanaka more than anything. One day, many years later, Yuki was all grown up. She was now a young woman who worked as a kindergarten teacher. She came to visit Mrs. Tanaka and Mochi. Mochi was older now. Her white fur had a few gray spots. She moved more slowly, but she still loved to sleep and dream. Yuki sat with Mochi and stroked her soft fur, just like when she was a little girl. Mochi, do you remember when we used to share dreams? Yuki asked softly. Mochi purred and looked up at Yuki with her green eyes. Of course she remembered. I became a teacher because of you, Yuki said. You taught me that dreams are important. You taught me that kindness and gentleness matter. You showed me that even small creatures can make a big difference in the world. Mochi closed her eyes and continued purring. She was happy to hear this. I tell my students about you, Yuki continued. I tell them about the white cat who sleeps all day and has magical dreams. I tell them to never stop dreaming, just like you never stopped. That night, Yuki stayed over at Mrs. Tanaka's house. She slept in her old room, and just like when she was a child, Mochi came to sleep next to her. They both closed their eyes, And once again, they shared a dream. In this dream, they were back in the magical garden. Luna the fairy was there. So were Taro, Mimi, Zuki, and all of Mochi's dream friends. "Welcome back, Yuki," Luna said with a warm smile. "You have grown up well." "Thank you," Yuki said. "I never forgot about this place." Dream Mochi and Dream Yuki walked through the garden together, just like old times. But now, they talked about deeper things, about life, about growing up, about staying young at heart, about the power of imagination. "Some people forget how to dream when they grow up," Dream Yuki said. "But I never did, because of you, Mochi." "You should thank yourself," Dream Mochi replied. "I only showed you the door. You chose to walk through it. You chose to keep your imagination alive." They sat by a crystal stream and watched the stars reflect in the water. "I hope I can teach my students to dream like this," Yuki said. "You will," Dream Mochi assured her. "Because you remember how magical it feels. You remember how important dreams are." As the sun rose in the dream world, Dream Mochi and Dream Yuki hugged each other. "Thank you for everything, Mochi," Yuki whispered. "Thank you for being my friend," Mochi whispered back. They woke up at the same time. The morning sun was shining through the window. Yuki looked at Mochi and smiled. Mochi meowed softly and touched Yuki's hand with her paw. They both knew it. They had shared the dream again. Some connections never break, no matter how much time passes. And so, Mochi's life continued. She kept sleeping, kept dreaming, kept bringing joy to everyone around her. She was proof that you don't need to be big or loud or busy to make a difference. Sometimes, the quietest creatures have the biggest impact on the world. The town's children grew up with stories about Mochi. They learned from her example. They learned to rest when tired. They learned to dream big. They learned to be gentle and kind. They learned that magic exists in everyday life if you just know how to look for it. Mrs. Tanaka took care of Mochi for many happy years. Every day was a blessing. Every nap was an adventure. Every dream was a gift. And in the dream world, Mochi's legend grew. She became known as the Dream Bridge, the cat who connected the waking world with the world of dreams. Other dreamers would sometimes meet her in their sleep. She would guide them, teach them, and show them the magic of imagination. But no matter where her dreams took her, no matter how far she traveled in the dream world, Mochi always knew where her true home was. It was in Mrs. Tanaka's house, on her soft blanket by the window, with the warm sun on her white fur. That was where she was happiest. That was where she belonged. That was where she was loved. And every night, as she closed her green eyes and drifted off to sleep, Mochi would think to herself, "I am the luckiest cat in the world. I have love in the waking world and adventures in the dream world. What more could anyone want?" Then she would purr contentedly, and begin another dream, another adventure, another chance to explore the infinite possibilities of the imagination. Because Mochi understood the secret that some people never learn. Life is not just about what you do when you're awake. It's also about what you dream when you're asleep. It's about balance. It's about finding joy in both worlds, the real and the imagined. And so, the story of Mochi the Sleepy Cat reminds us all to take time to rest, to dream, to imagine, and to connect with others, both in our waking hours and in our sleeping ones. After all, some of life's greatest adventures happen when we close our eyes and let our minds wander. And some of life's most important connections are made not through words or actions, but through the gentle touch of shared dreams. Mochi knew this secret, and through her simple life of sleeping and dreaming, she taught it to everyone who knew her. The end. Or perhaps just the beginning of another dream. "This tea is wonderful," Dream Mochi said. "It is made from dream flowers," Luna explained. "These flowers only grow in the dream world. They help dreamers have happy dreams." Dream Mochi and Luna talked for a long time. They talked about dreams and adventures. They talked about the real world and the dream world. Luna told Mochi many interesting stories, but then Dream Mochi heard a sound. It was a soft, familiar sound. Someone was calling her name. "Mochi! Mochi!" Dream Mochi opened her eyes. The beautiful garden disappeared. She was back in Mrs. Tanaka's house, lying on her blanket by the window. "Mochi, wake up," Mrs. Tanaka said gently. "It is time for lunch." Mochi stretched her legs and yawned. She had slept for 3 hours. She looked up at Mrs. Tanaka and meowed. "You were sleeping very deeply," Mrs. Tanaka said with a laugh. "Were you having a nice dream?" Mochi meowed again. If only Mrs. Tanaka knew about her adventure in the dream world. After lunch, Mrs. Tanaka said, "Mochi, I need to go to the bakery to buy some bread. Would you like to come with me?" Mochi thought about it. She was sleepy again, but she also liked going outside. The bakery was one of her favorite places in town. "Meow," Mochi said. That meant yes. Mrs. Tanaka put Mochi in a small basket. The basket was comfortable and had a soft cushion inside. Mochi liked riding in the basket. They walked down the street together. The town was busy today. Many people were walking around. Children were playing in the park. Cars were driving slowly on the road. "Good afternoon, Mrs. Tanaka," someone called out. It was Mr. Sato, the flower shop owner. He was watering the flowers outside his shop. "Good afternoon, Mr. Sato," Mrs. Tanaka replied. Mr. Sato looked into the basket. "Hello, Mochi. Are you sleeping again?" Mochi opened one eye and looked at Mr. Sato. Then she closed her eye again. She was too comfortable to stay awake. Mr. Sato laughed. "Mochi is always sleeping. She is the sleepiest cat in town." "Yes, she is," Mrs. Tanaka agreed. "But everyone loves her anyway." They continued walking to the bakery. The bakery was called Sunshine Bakery. It was owned by a kind man named Mr. Yamada. He had been baking bread for 30 years. When they arrived at the bakery, a wonderful smell filled the air. It was the smell of fresh bread and sweet cakes. Mochi's nose twitched. Even though she was sleepy, she could smell the delicious food. "Welcome, Mrs. Tanaka," Mr. Yamada said cheerfully. "And hello, little Mochi." Mr. Yamada loved Mochi very much. He always gave her a special treat when she visited. "What can I get for you today?" Mr. Yamada asked. "I would like 2 loaves of your white bread, please," Mrs. Tanaka said. While Mr. Yamada prepared the bread, he brought out a small piece of fish cake. "This is for Mochi," he said. Mrs. Tanaka took Mochi out of the basket and put her on the counter. Mochi opened her eyes and saw the fish cake. She was suddenly very awake. Mochi ate the fish cake happily. It was soft and tasted like the sea. Mr. Yamada watched her eat and smiled. "Mochi always wakes up for food," he said with a laugh. After finishing the fish cake, Mochi felt sleepy again. Mrs. Tanaka put her back in the basket. Mochi curled up on the cushion and closed her eyes. On the way home, they passed by the elementary school. School had just finished, and children were leaving the building. One little girl saw Mochi in the basket. "Look, it's Mochi," the girl said excitedly. The girl's name was Yuki. She was 7 years old and loved cats very much. She always tried to pet Mochi when she saw her. "Can I pet Mochi, please?" Yuki asked Mrs. Tanaka. "Of course, dear," Mrs. Tanaka said. Yuki gently touched Mochi's soft white fur. Mochi purred softly. She liked Yuki because Yuki was always gentle. "Mochi is so soft and warm," Yuki said. "I wish I had a cat like Mochi." "Maybe one day you will," Mrs. Tanaka said kindly. Yuki's mother called her. It was time to go home. Yuki waved goodbye to Mochi and Mrs. Tanaka. "Goodbye, Mochi. Sleep well," Yuki said. When they got home, Mrs. Tanaka put Mochi back on her blanket by the window. Mochi was very tired from the trip. She closed her eyes and fell asleep immediately. This time, Mochi dreamed about the ocean. Dream Mochi was swimming in clear blue water. She could breathe underwater like a fish. It felt strange, but wonderful. She swam deeper and deeper into the ocean. She saw many colorful fish swimming around her. There were orange fish, yellow fish, blue fish, and fish with stripes. Some fish were small, like her paw. Other fish were big, like Mrs. Tanaka's car. "Hello, little cat," said a friendly voice. Dream Mochi turned around. She saw a big sea turtle swimming toward her. The turtle had a green shell with brown patterns on it. "Hello," Dream Mochi said. "I am Mochi." "I am Taro," the turtle said. "I have lived in this ocean for 100 years. What brings you here?" "I am exploring the ocean in my dream," Dream Mochi explained. "A dream?" Taro said. "How wonderful! Dreams are magical. Would you like me to show you the most beautiful place in the ocean?" Yes, please, Dream Mochi said excitedly. Taro started swimming, and Dream Mochi followed him. They swam past schools of fish. They swam through forests of seaweed. They swam over colorful coral reefs. Finally, they arrived at a special place. It was an underwater cave that glowed with a soft blue light. Inside the cave were thousands of tiny creatures that made the light. "This is amazing," Dream Mochi whispered. "These are lightfish," Taro explained. "They create light to talk to each other. When you watch them, you can see patterns in their lights. Those patterns are their language." Dream Mochi watched the lightfish carefully. The lights blinked on and off in different patterns. It was like watching stars in the sky, but underwater. "What are they saying?" Dream Mochi asked. Taro listened to the light patterns. "They are saying, 'Welcome, dreamer. Thank you for visiting our home.'" Dream Mochi felt very happy. She had made new friends in the ocean. But then she heard that familiar sound again. Someone was calling her name from far away. "Mochi, Mochi, time for dinner." Dream Mochi opened her eyes. She was back in the house again. The ocean and the light fish disappeared. She was lying on her blanket, and Mrs. Tanaka was preparing dinner in the kitchen. Mochi stretched and yawned. She had slept for 4 hours this time. She stood up and walked to the kitchen. "There you are, Mochi," Mrs. Tanaka said. "I was just about to wake you up. Dinner is ready." Mrs. Tanaka had prepared grilled fish for Mochi. The fish smelled delicious. Mochi ate her dinner happily. After dinner, she drank some water and cleaned her face with her paw. "Would you like to go outside for a little walk?" Mrs. Tanaka asked. Mochi looked at the door. It was evening now. The sun was setting, and the sky was orange and pink. It was a beautiful evening. Mochi meowed. She wanted to go outside. Mrs. Tanaka opened the door, and Mochi walked out into the small garden. The garden had a few trees and many flowers. There was also a small stone path and a bench. Mochi walked slowly along the stone path. The evening air was cool and fresh. She could hear crickets singing in the grass. She sat under a tree and looked up at the sky. The first stars were starting to appear. They twinkled like the light fish in her dream. "The real world is beautiful too," Mochi thought to herself. A small bird landed on a branch above her. The bird sang a sweet song. Mochi listened to the song peacefully. She did not try to catch the bird. She just enjoyed the music. After a while, Mrs. Tanaka came out to the garden. "It's getting dark, Mochi. Time to come inside." Mochi followed Mrs. Tanaka back into the house. Mrs. Tanaka closed the door and turned on the lights. That evening, Mrs. Tanaka sat in her comfortable chair and read a book. Mochi jumped onto Mrs. Tanaka's lap and curled up. Mrs. Tanaka gently stroked Mochi's soft fur. "You are such a good cat, Mochi," Mrs. Tanaka said softly. "You bring me so much happiness." Mochi purred loudly. She loved Mrs. Tanaka very much. Even though Mochi slept a lot, she always felt the love in this house. Soon Mochi's eyes started to close again. She was getting sleepy. Mrs. Tanaka continued reading her book, and Mochi fell asleep on her lap. In this dream, Mochi found herself in a magical forest. The trees were very tall, and their leaves sparkled like diamonds. The forest was full of life and color. Mochi walked along a path made of smooth, white stones. On both sides of the path, there were flowers that glowed in the dark. Some flowers were blue, some were purple, and some were pink. This forest is magical, Mochi said to herself. As she walked deeper into the forest, she heard beautiful music. It sounded like flutes and bells playing together. The music was soft and peaceful. Mochi followed the sound of the music. She walked and walked until she came to a clearing in the forest. In the middle of the clearing, there was a group of small animals having a party. There were rabbits, squirrels, hedgehogs, and birds. They were all dancing and singing together. There was food on a long table: berries, nuts, seeds, and sweet honey. "Hello," said a friendly rabbit. "Welcome to our party. My name is Mimi." "Hello, Mimi. I am Mochi," Mochi said. "Would you like to join our party?" "Yes, please," Mochi replied. Mimi introduced Mochi to all the other animals. There was Kuro the squirrel, Hana the hedgehog, and Pico the bird. Everyone was very friendly and kind. "We have this party every night," Kuro explained. "We celebrate friendship and happiness." "That sounds wonderful," Mochi said. The animals invited Mochi to dance with them. Mochi had never danced before, but she tried her best. She moved her paws in time with the music. The other animals clapped and cheered. "You are a good dancer, Mochi," Hana said. After dancing, everyone sat down to eat. Mochi tried some berries. They were sweet and juicy. She also tried some honey. It was the most delicious honey she had ever tasted. "This food is amazing," Mochi said. "Everything tastes better when you share it with friends," Pico said wisely. Mochi felt very happy. She had made so many new friends in the magical forest. The animals told her stories about their lives in the forest. They told her about the changing seasons. They told her about the old wise owl who lived in the tallest tree. They told her about the crystal stream where the water was always pure and cold. "I wish I could stay here forever," Mochi said. "You can visit us any time in your dreams," Mimi said with a smile. "We will always be here waiting for you." Mochi felt tears in her eyes. She was so happy to have such wonderful friends. But then, once again, she heard that voice calling her name. "Mochi, Mochi, it's time for bed." Mochi opened her eyes. She was still on Mrs. Tanaka's lap. The book was closed, and Mrs. Tanaka was getting ready to go to bed. "Come on, Mochi," Mrs. Tanaka said gently. "Let's go to sleep." Mrs. Tanaka carried Mochi to the bedroom. She put Mochi on the bed. The bed was soft and warm. Mrs. Tanaka got into bed too. "Good night, Mochi," Mrs. Tanaka whispered. Mochi snuggled close to Mrs. Tanaka. She felt safe and loved. Soon, both of them were sleeping peacefully. The next morning, Mochi woke up early. The sun was just starting to rise. The sky was turning from dark blue to light orange. Mochi jumped down from the bed carefully. She did not want to wake Mrs. Tanaka. She walked to the window and looked outside. The town was still quiet. Most people were still sleeping, but some birds were already awake and singing. Mochi watched as the sun slowly rose higher in the sky. The light became brighter and brighter. It was the start of a new day. I wonder what dreams I will have today, Mochi thought to herself. She walked back to her favorite spot by the window in the living room. She lay down on her blanket and closed her eyes. Soon, she was dreaming again. This time, she dreamed about flying through space. Dream Mochi was floating among the stars and planets. Everything was dark, but also full of light from the stars. She flew past the moon. It was big and round and covered with craters. She touched the surface of the moon. It felt cold and dusty. Then she flew toward a planet that was blue and green. It looked like Earth, but it was different. This planet had 3 moons instead of 1. What a strange and beautiful place, Dream Mochi thought. She landed on the planet. The ground was covered with soft, purple grass. There were trees with silver leaves. The sky was orange instead of blue. Dream Mochi explored this new planet. She found a river that flowed with water that sparkled like diamonds. She found mountains that looked like they were made of glass. She found caves that echoed with mysterious sounds. This planet is full of wonders, Dream Mochi said. Then she met a strange creature. It looked like a rabbit, but it had 6 legs and long ears that glowed. The creature was sitting on a rock and looking at the sky. "Hello," Dream Mochi said. The creature turned to look at her. "Hello, traveler from another world. I am Zuki. Welcome to Planet Amethyst." "Thank you," Dream Mochi said. "My name is Mochi. I am from Earth." "Earth?" Zuki said. "I have heard of that planet. It is very far from here. How did you get here?" "I am dreaming," Dream Mochi explained. "Ah, a dream traveler," Zuki said excitedly. "Dream travelers are very special. They can visit any world they imagine." Zuki showed Mochi around Planet Amethyst. They visited crystal caves where beautiful music echoed. They climbed silver mountains where they could see the whole planet. They swam in the Diamond River where the water made them feel light and happy. "Your planet is amazing," Dream Mochi said. "Your dreams make it amazing," Zuki replied. "This planet exists because you are dreaming about it. When you wake up, it will still be here, waiting for your next visit." Dream Mochi was amazed. "Really? I can come back?" "Of course," Zuki said. "The dream world is always here. You just need to close your eyes and believe." Dream Mochi and Zuki sat on a hill and watched the 3 moons rise. Each moon was a different color. One was silver, one was gold, and one was blue. "This is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen," Dream Mochi said. "Dreams are gifts," Zuki said. "They help us see things we cannot see when we are awake. They help us feel things we cannot feel in the real world. Never stop dreaming, Mochi. I won't, Dream Mochi promised. They sat together for a long time, watching the moons and the stars. Dream Mochi felt peaceful and happy. But then she heard the voice again. Mochi, Mochi, time for breakfast. Dream Mochi opened her eyes. She was back on her blanket by the window. Mrs. Tanaka was in the kitchen, preparing breakfast. Mochi stretched and walked to the kitchen. Mrs. Tanaka. Tanaka smiled when she saw her. Good morning, sleepy cat, Mrs. Tanaka said. Did you sleep well? Mochi meowed happily. She had slept very well. She had visited so many wonderful places in her dreams. After breakfast, Mrs. Tanaka said, Today is a special day, Mochi. My granddaughter Yuki is coming to visit us. Mochi remembered Yuki. She was the little girl who always petted her gently. Mochi liked Yuki very much. She will be here soon, Mrs. Tanaka said. I need to clean the house and prepare some snacks for her. Boom. Mrs. Tanaka started cleaning the house. She swept the floor and dusted the furniture. Mochi watched her for a while, then decided to take another nap. She found a sunny spot on the floor and lay down. The warm sunlight felt good on her white fur. Soon she was sleeping again. This time she had a short dream. In the dream, she was playing with Yuki. They were running through a field of flowers. The sun was shining and butterflies were flying all around them. Dream Yuki laughed as she ran. Catch me if you can, Mochi. Dream Mochi ran after her. It was so much fun. They played together for a long time until they were both tired. Then they lay down in the soft grass and looked up at the clouds. I love you, Mochi, Dream Yuki said. I love you too, Dream Mochi replied. Just then, the doorbell rang. Mochi woke up from her nap. She heard Mrs. Tanaka open the door. Grandma, a happy voice said. It was Yuki. She had arrived. Mochi stood up and walked to the entrance. Yuki saw her and smiled brightly. Mochi, Yuki said. She bent down and gently picked up Mochi. I missed you so much. Mochi purred loudly. She was happy to see Yuki too. Yuki carried Mochi to the living room. They sat down on the sofa together. Yuki stroked Mochi's soft fur gently. You are so warm and soft, Mochi, Yuki said. Are you sleepy today? Mochi meowed softly. She was always sleepy, but right now, she wanted to spend time with Yuki. Mrs. Tanaka brought some tea and cookies for Yuki. Yuki ate the cookies while holding Mochi on her lap. Grandma, can I tell you a secret? Yuki asked. Of course, dear, Mrs. Tanaka said. I think Mochi has magical dreams, Yuki said seriously. Sometimes when I pet her while she's sleeping, I can feel something special, like she's traveling to wonderful places. Mrs. Tanaka smiled. That's a beautiful thought, Yuki. Maybe you're right. Mochi does seem very peaceful when she sleeps. I wish I could see Mochi's dreams, Yuki said. Maybe Mochi will show you in your own dreams, Mrs. Tanaka suggested. Yuki's eyes lit up. Really? That would be amazing! That afternoon, Yuki and Mrs. Tanaka played with Mochi. They used a toy mouse on a string to play with her. Mochi chased the toy mouse around the room. It was fun, but after a while, Mochi got tired. "I think Mochi needs a nap," Yuki said with a giggle. "You're right," Mrs. Tanaka said. "Mochi loves her naps." Mochi went back to her blanket by the window. But before she could fall asleep, Yuki came over and sat next to her. "Mochi, can I take a nap with you?" Yuki asked. Mochi meowed. That meant yes. Yuki lay down on the floor next to Mochi. She put her arm gently around Mochi. Both of them closed their eyes. "Have sweet dreams, Mochi," Yuki whispered. Soon, both Mochi and Yuki were sleeping peacefully. In this dream, something special happened. Dream Mochi found herself in a beautiful garden. But this time, she was not alone. Dream Yuki was there too. "Yuki!" Dream Mochi said happily. "You're here!" Dream Yuki looked around in amazement. "Mochi, where are we? Is this your dream?" "Yes," Dream Mochi said. "Welcome to the dream world." Dream Yuki was so excited. "This is incredible. Everything is so beautiful." They explored the garden together. They saw flowers that changed colors. They saw trees that grew candy instead of fruit. They saw a pond where fish swam in the air instead of water. "This is the best dream ever," Dream Yuki said. Then Luna, the dream fairy that Mochi had met before, appeared. "Hello, Mochi," Luna said. "I see you brought a friend." "This is Yuki," Dream Mochi introduced her. "She is my special friend." Luna smiled at Yuki. "Welcome to the dream world, Yuki. It is rare for two people to share the same dream. You and Mochi must have a very strong connection." "I love Mochi very much," Yuki said. "And Mochi loves you too," Luna said. "That love is what brought you both here together." Luna gave them both special flower crowns. The crowns were made of dream flowers that glowed with soft light. "These crowns are gifts," Luna said. "They will help you remember this dream when you wake up." Dream Mochi and Dream Yuki thanked Luna. Then they continued exploring the dream world together. They rode on the backs of friendly dragons. They slid down rainbows. They danced with the stars. They had so much fun together. Dream Yuki laughed and smiled the whole time.